Someone in your group yawns, and within seconds, without deciding to, you yawn too. It happens so automatically that you've probably never once questioned it. But stop and actually think about what just occurred. Another person's mouth opened, and your nervous system, entirely without your permission, copied it. Most people assume this is a meaningless quirk, something left over and pointless, like a hiccup, with no real job to do. It isn't. Contagious yawning is one of the oldest, most involuntary signals your body sends and receives, and the reason it exists traces back to something your ancestors needed a group to do together, or die separately. In 1986, psychologist Robert Provine, then at the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, published a paper in the journal Ethology that became the foundation for essentially all modern research on contagious yawning. Provine ran a simple but revealing set of experiments. He showed people videos of others yawning and counted how many viewers yawned in response. What he found went further than expected. It wasn't only watching a live yawn that triggered contagion. Photographs of yawning faces worked. Written descriptions of yawning worked. Simply reading the word yawn repeatedly could trigger the reflex in a meaningful percentage of people. Then Provine tested something even stranger. He edited the videos so the yawning person's mouth was masked, hidden from view, leaving only the rest of the face and body visible. If contagious yawning was just about seeing an open mouth, masking it should have weakened the effect dramatically. It didn't. Masked mouth yawns triggered contagion almost as effectively as the full, unedited version. Whatever your brain is actually detecting, it isn't simply a mouth opened. It's something closer to a whole body pattern. And your nervous system is remarkably good at recognizing it from almost any angle. Here's the question that should genuinely bother you. If yawning itself exists to regulate your own alertness, why would evolution also wire you to copy someone else's? The leading explanation researchers have converged on involves group synchronization. Contagious yawning has been documented across a striking range of social mammals, chimpanzees, wolves, lions, domestic dogs. Even rats, almost always in species that live, sleep, and stay alert in coordinated groups. The working theory is that contagious yawning may function as a synchronizing signal, nudging an entire group's arousal and rest cycles to move together rather than staying scattered and mismatched. For an early human band, mismatched alertness was a genuine liability. If half the group was drowsy while the other half was fully awake, the group's collective vigilance against predators, weather, and rival bands was only ever as strong as its most tired member allowed it to be. A signal that quietly pulled everyone's arousal state toward the same rhythm, sleepy together, alert together, wasn't a glitch. It was very possibly a coordination tool, running silently underneath conscious thought, keeping the group's shared watchfulness from fragmenting. There's a second layer to this story that researchers didn't expect to find, and it reframes the whole phenomenon. Studies examining who is most susceptible to contagious yawning have repeatedly found a correlation with empathy and social bonding measures. People who score higher on empathy-related assessments tend to be more likely to catch a yawn from someone else, while certain conditions associated with reduced social cognitive processing are associated with reduced yawn contagion. This link has shown up clearly enough, across enough independent research, that many scientists now treat contagious yawning as a rough behavioral marker of social connectedness, not just a physical reflex. The pattern gets even more striking in our closest living relatives. Researchers studying chimpanzees found contagious yawning among troopmates who knew each other well, which fit the group synchronization theory neatly. But later research on bonobos found something that theory alone couldn't fully explain. Bonobos yawned contagiously even in response to videos of yawning strangers they had never met and had no social bond with at all. Behavior some researchers interpreted as evidence of an almost unconditional social responsiveness, wired in regardless of familiarity. Whatever this reflex ultimately turns out to measure most precisely, it consistently tracks something about how socially tuned in a brain is to the individuals around it. Here's where this stops being a story about chimpanzees and 1980s lab videos. You have almost certainly caught a yawn during a video call, in a meeting, from a stranger sitting across from you on public transit, or simply from reading a paragraph describing one a few minutes ago. Every one of those moments is the same ancient synchronization and connection signal firing, completely bypassing your conscious decision-making, exactly the way it was built to. This is also very possibly why suppressing a yawn in a formal setting feels so oddly difficult. You're not fighting a random muscle spasm. You're fighting a deeply wired social synchronization reflex that evolved specifically to be hard to override. Because a group that could consciously choose to ignore it would lose the very coordination benefit the reflex exists to provide. You are not being rude, and you are not falling asleep on someone when you catch their yawn. Some old, quiet part of your nervous system is simply doing the job it has always done, reading the room and pulling your body's rhythm gently back into step with the people around you. The fire that once kept a small group's watch synchronized through the night is long gone. So are the predators that made mismatched alertness dangerous. But the reflex built to keep everyone's rhythm moving together never got the memo that the stakes changed. It's still running, quietly, every time a yawn crosses a room and finds you before you've had a chance to stop it. You didn't choose to copy it. Some part of you was simply built to stay in sync,